Hello, property lovers. Thanks for choosing Property Focus, your window into the world of architecture, building construction, and real estate. Now, whether your living room is an open plan in need of styling, a cozier spot, these living room ideas from some of the best interior designers are sure to amplify your next decorating project. With everything from bold splashes of color to richly patterned wallpaper, today's show will guide you into creating chic statement-making pieces that burst with their own sense of character. We chat with furniture experts on the latest design trends in the markets today, from imported pieces from around the world that will just uplift your home space into something else. But how do you style your new home or renovate your space? Let's find out from interior designer Abigail. But first off, though, let's get into a project review to see how this space was turned into a dreamy, calm, and soothing atmosphere to relax and catch up with family. Now get snugged up and comfy. Welcome to the Property Focus Show. I'm your host, Peter Ngigi. Now it's time to get even more cozy with living room ideas that will transform your living room to a vibrant space. It's time to kickstart your next decorating project with guides from everything to living room color, schemes, to your lighting. You could be looking to style your sitting room or for a way to liven up your lounge, snug, or den. We've got the experts to help you do just that. First of all, this is really beautiful. Welcome to Property Focus.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Tell us about yourself and what you do.
My name is Veer Paneser. I am the current CEO of Panesis Kenya Limited. It's a 3-generation business started by my grandfather in 1948. It's now run by my father. And hopefully I will take on those reins one day.
Tell us, what makes the perfect living room?
There's a lot of elements involved in creating a perfect living room. The first question I would ask you is, what is perfect? I don't think anything is perfect in this world. What I would start off by saying in the perfect living room is, let it be characteristic of you. It is your living room. So as much as you want to get involved with other interior designers, let it be your choice that reigns supreme. Consider lighting, consider fabric, consider trying to add as many different elements of materials as possible. For example, in this living room, we have a little bit of stone, a little bit of carpet everywhere. So that's something we're very characteristic and very proud about, so we use it as much as we can. But the perfect living room is a marriage of all the elements and a place where you can show your character to your guests. Other things to consider when designing a living room are how many people are in the family, but not just how many people, also the ages of those people. An example, if you're younger, your back is a little bit more flexible. So you're able to sit on something a little softer and a little deeper. Remember that the older people in the family need something firmer, a little more upright, because getting in and out of a chair can be difficult for them. So consider the people in the family. Make the correct choices on the furniture that can fit in the room and the size of that room.
What was your response to this particular project?
So this living room was designed by my mother. It is her house. It is the family house. And the idea was to have our classical furniture and try and put it in an environment which still looks modern. We're very proud about being Kenyan. So we wanted to have a little bit of elements of Africanness into it. Hence the choice of like carpet, hence the choice of colors on the furniture. So we tried using different elements of particular African designers, which we added into this room to kind of give it a little bit more character.
Okay. Speaking of character, what look were you going for?
I can't say it's classic. I can't say it's modern.
Okay.
It's a combination of stories, may I put it, that we've put together as a family. Like I said, we have our classical pieces, which all have very nice stories within them on their own. And each piece, so may it be a picture or an artifact, they all have their stories of where we've traveled to, who we've spoken to. Some of them have been passed down as gifts. So they all have their stories. And when we sit in this living room as a family and with friends, we like discussing these stories. They're good discussion points and good story points when you're entertaining.
Tell us about that particular piece right there.
The Valentino chair is a very, very special piece. It's a very special piece to me as well. It was designed by a gentleman called Gary Culsey. Gary Culsey, the late Gary Culsey, was a designer at Penaces at the time. And he designed that chair for my mother for Valentine's Day.
Wow.
Hence the name Valentino.
Yeah.
And if you look at that chair, it has this little love heart in the center of it, which is characteristic of the day.
What is a must-have in any living room project?
Good lighting. I think good lighting is understated in this country. There's a lot of science behind lighting. And we do have professionals in this country who can give you that advice. It's not just about having a beautiful ceiling lamp or wall lamps. You need to have lighting at different heights. You need to have different color lights at different heights. It's all dependent on what colors you have inside your house, what sort of wood color you have inside your house, and what you want to showcase.
Okay.
So one thing I would recommend is get yourself some good lighting.
For these particular pieces, what fabrics were you using?
We've changed the fabrics a couple of times. Similar colors, but different sort of fabric textures. The plain fabric that's visible right now is called Magical Moments.
Okay.
We have a catalog in Penaces called Magical Moments. And it's a velvet feel, so it's a thick fabric. But the reason it's got magic in it is because it doesn't take up any stains.
Okay.
I could pour wine on that and remove it if I wanted to.
Interesting. As we conclude, any advice you'd like to give buyers of furniture or other industry players?
If you're going to invest in a house, you're investing for a lifetime. All right? You're investing for your generation or for your children. Invest in good furniture items.
Gone are the stuffy furnitures with plastic covers on them in the past. It's all about how you make your space look at its best while reflecting your personal sense of style. Do it well, and you'll have a mixture of furniture, paint, colors, and fabrics that never clash but result in a pleasing whole. Now, moving into a new house can be one of life's greatest joys, but it can also be a time of uncertainty, especially when it comes to decorating. Worry not though, we've got you as we show you how to transform this space into a modern haven with interior designer Abigail. Let's have a chat with her. And welcome to Property Focus.
Thank you.
Brilliant. Tell us about yourself and what you do.
Hi, my name is Abigail Osidiana. I'm the
Okay.
lead interior designer and operations manager at Lehem Interiors.
Wonderful. We're talking about designing living room spaces. What considerations should one give?
You need to look at the color. So color affects your mood and how you operate. So basically living room spaces need to be zen and a bit calm because you're going to accommodate different personalities within the space. Then two, you need to look at lighting. So one, lighting supports how your whole space looks like, right? So have sufficient lighting so that it doesn't look too dull or it's not too bright. So what we tend to advise is have your main light, which is your direct light, which can be the common one that we put in the center, or you can have spotlights like what we've done, and then support it with some pendant lights, some freestanding lamps, or some table lamps. Then three, choose a focal point for your space. So basically, a focal point is the one place where your eye is directly drawn towards as you enter into the space. So typically, people select the wall with the TV area as their focal point. And even in our case in this space, we've selected the TV as our focal point. But because there's nothing else we've done onto that wall, we've decided to add the 2 accent chairs to give it that pop and a bit of oomph.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then 4, you need to think about your decorations. So have your space to have a bit of character, right? So otherwise it's going to be just plain and blunt.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about ventilation?
Ventilation, maybe I can tweak it a little. I would say circulation. So circulation is basically how you're going to move in and within the spaces. So decide where you're going to place your furniture so that it doesn't affect how people are moving in and out. So for example, in this space, here's the kitchen, there's the door, so we can't put like furniture within this area.
Brings me to the third question. What about the L shape? Why is it so common? And I notice you haven't used it here.
L-shaped are common for 3 main reasons. First reason is they're comfortable and allow for casual seating. So you can sit when you're upright like this, or you can lay around the arm side. Then 2, L-shaped sofas fit in different orientations. You can put it in the middle of a space, in a corner area, and other kinds of orientations. And then 3, it's suitable for different types of spaces. So for example, you can put it in a very small space, you can put it in a big space. So that's why it's like the easiest selection for people to do. But for our case, we didn't want to use an L-shaped sofa because 1, it's too common, and then 2, the kind of person that persona that we selected for this space is more like a newlywed. Yeah. So for them, they don't really need a lot of seating, and then also you want them to have like different clusters of seating rather than just all of you laying and clustered on the L-shaped sofa. So we want it to be different.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do's and don'ts whenever you're designing your living room space.
First one, I would say, have some side tables. So side tables are important in that you can easily move them around to different conversation areas. So if you miss out on having it, people are more inclined towards using the coffee table or gravitating towards the coffee table. Then 2, you need to select rugs. So rugs are essential in a space in that they define areas. So they define the living area from the dining area. But there's a don't for the rugs. Don't select a rug that's not proper for the space, either too small or too big. So a general rule of thumb would be select a rug that holds all the legs of your seats or can accommodate all the legs of your seat. And if not, at least half of the seat. Yeah. Then another don't select furniture that's too big. So if you select furniture that's too big, for example, your space looks smaller, the circulation will be terrible, so you wouldn't really feel like your space is cozy or very homely. Yeah.
So what criteria do you give whenever you're designing a living room space?
We would look at the age. So age is a big factor in that. If you have kids, for example, you can't choose colors that are very light unless you want to invest in cleaning, a lot of cleaning. Then you have to think of income bracket. So your income will determine the kind of finishes, the kind of materials, and the kind of detailing that you're going to put into the work. So of course, more detailing costs more money if you're choosing leather versus, you know, normal fabrics. It would be a lot expensive. Then 2, you can look at profession or even, let's say, religion. Let me talk about religion. So in a space, for example, that has a Muslim or Islamic clientele, you wouldn't put a bar area because it would conflict with their religious beliefs. Then, for example, if you have people who prefer to sit on the floor on rugs versus sitting on sofas, then if you create a sitting like this, you haven't really answered or touched what they need for their space.
Working with the end in mind, what's your take on that?
I advise you to have the end in mind. So for example, if you're taking on a furnishing project for your own apartment or your own home, have the designer or whoever is assisting you with the process define the colors, the materials, the fabrics, the finishes, the walls and partitions way before the project is implemented, so that even if you don't have the funds to follow through with everything at the beginning, you have a plan and everything will flow with each other, rather than let's do the living room only and then 1 year later you decide to do the bedroom and then it looks like you have 5 designers who did this space. So it doesn't have a cohesive look. So have the end in mind. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Abigail. Now, always work with the end in mind. We're going to review another living room, which is supposedly the dream living room, in just a bit. Stay tuned.
Have you ever thought of owning a home at the Kenyan coast? What if we told you you could? Pazuri at Vipingo is a master-planned holiday and residential estate strategically located in Vipingo off the Mombasa-Malindi Highway. The estate consists of 372 affordable and luxurious units with a choice of 2, 3 and 4 bedroom villas, and residents enjoy easy access to the amenities of the adjacent world-class Vipingo Ridge. Pazuri at Vipingo is ideal for holidaymakers, investors, diplomats and homeowners.
Own a prime plot in Greenstead, Nakuru, an exclusive urban estate along Nairobi-Nakuru Highway, where nature meets tranquility. Text Nakuru to 21404. Hyssop Properties, a culture of trust.
As a place where friends and family gather the most, home, it is most important for the living room to not only be decorated, but also inviting. Every detail matters, from the cushions and throws, toppings, your expertly upholstered sofa, to the eye-catching color combinations unveiling the space. Now, let's hear from furniture experts on the same. Welcome to Property Focus.
Thank you so much, Peter, for having me. My name is William Atito. I'm a sales representative at Nasimi Interiors. I've been in the furniture industry for the last 7 years, and thank you for having me too.
Now, as a furniture expert, tell us about the fabrics that are in today.
Yeah, the current fabrics that are in today, mostly we consider leather. There is leather, we have linen, we have cotton, we have even velvets and canvas materials. Yeah. For the very best, most of them we get from Europe. Yeah. For example, the leather fabrics, we get them from Argentinian cow leathers. Yeah. And the velvet, the linen, those ones we get from Belgium and maybe Holland too. Yeah.
Tell us about some of the preferred styles whenever it comes to couch styling.
Yeah, there's a variety of styles. First, there are the sectional sofas, which are more diverse.
Is this a sectional sofa?
Yeah, this is a sectional sofa.
What can it do? How can
you can even make it, sectional sofa are more preferred because you can change the sitting styles. You can make it as an L shape. You can also rearrange it as a corner seat.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And even a single seater on the sides. Yeah. We also have the love seats. We have lounge seats. We have the traditional sofas of 3-to-1,
yes,
which also gives you room for conversation. You can always rearrange to face each other when you're communicating with even if you have friends and family around.
I know there's a bachelor who's watching here. Love seats.
Yeah, love seats, yeah.
How do they look like?
Love seats are maybe, for example, like this one, because I showed you sectional sofas. You can always remove the chase and place it aside. So you can always relax and sit at the back.
I see.
So it gives you a variety of options.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what considerations should one have when purchasing furniture?
One of the most consideration people should consider is the durability. How durable is the furniture you're buying? For example, on the leather seats, we know leathers are durable. They can last you for decades. You can consider also the framework of the seats, how strong, what kind of woods have they used. Like mostly we use oak woods, and people around like mahogany. So you consider the durability. Yeah. Secondly, you can also consider the pricing.
Yes.
Yeah, the pricing is more effective. You can buy something, how long it will last you? Is it worth the price you're buying it for? So you should consider the pricing. You can also consider on the comfortability of the seat. How comfortable is it? The depth, how wide, how can you relax on it? How how comfortable can you be when you're sitting on the seat? Yeah, so comfortability also matters a lot. Yeah.
Depending on the age. Some older
Yeah,
people
like older
harder
people
fabrics.
can always like their design, like the wing backs, somebody who can relax on it well. And the younger guys, maybe you can go even for the lounge seats, the low backs. Yeah, like for example, the UK, they love the Chester designs, yeah, high back. The Chinese, maybe they like the low backs, yeah, for their comfort. Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, give us your parting shots.
When you're buying a furniture, any coach, even the beds or the dinings, don't worry about the pricing. Worry more on the durability. How long will the coach take you? You can buy, you know, cheap is expensive. You can buy cheap stuff. It will take you for like 6 months, then you regret on buying it, so it's wasted. So you go back again and purchase another. The best thing is if you even go for the leather seats, that will take you for decades. Good quality will take you for long. So I'm advising any viewer outside there, consider more on the quality, durability, and if you have no idea, get a perfect interior designer. Will help you out with everything.
Thank you very much, William.
Thank you too.
And there you have it from William. Make sure you pay the price for quality furniture because it's going to last you a bit longer. Thank you for being with us from the start of the show. We never like to say goodbye, but as always, if you want to advertise your property or have more topics, reach out to us on Property Focus on our social media pages, and we'll be more than happy to have these experts come and discuss these topics in our upcoming episodes. Reach out to us on Property Focus on Facebook and Property_Focus_ on Instagram. This has been most wonderful. I'm your host, Peter Ngigi.